Testing. 1, 2. We're going to try another episode of Stump the Maven. I'm going to speak a lot more clearly. I know I just said, I'm going to try not to do that. I'm going to speak really clearly, and I'm going to share some expert advice about total losses in Texas. Again, I've gone to, there's another, I've gone to answerthepublic.com to get the most relevant questions related to insurance total losses right now. What are the people searching for? We're going to start with the first question. Is total loss vehicle a salvage title? This depends on your specific carrier guidelines. I do believe that some carriers prefer to just do a salvage title stamp on everything that they operate with. However, I do know that you don't need to have your title branded as a salvage title if the estimate of record was below the ACV. Texas is a 100% ACV state regarding actual total losses. So if your vehicle estimate was less than the ACV of the vehicle that the insurance gave you, you do not need to have the salvage you do not need to have the salvage title, but your carrier may. Second question is total loss clean title? It may be a clean title if if the estimate of record was less than the actual cash value. I believe in Texas specifically, there's also something to note. In Texas specifically, I don't believe you have to declare it a salvage title if it's related to hail. That is the only exception that I know of in Texas. And again, check with your carrier. Next question is total loss vehicle? More often than not, yes. Just because of the amount of claims that are total losses. It's hard to get a house that's a total loss unless it's like wrecked. So, yes, it's a total loss vehicle. I will say probably. Next question. Are car a total loss? More often than not, right? I'm going to say yes. Next is what's considered a total loss? Next question. What is considered a total loss? In Texas, it is considered a total loss if the estimate of record, including any supplements, is greater than or equal to the actual cash value. That is when it's required to be a total loss in the state of Texas. However, insurance companies are able to declare a constructive total loss, which is basically just a business decision. That means the estimate, it doesn't matter what the estimate is. If the insurance carrier can come up with a reason why they don't want to fix the car, they'll make what's called a constructive total loss, in which case that is a business decision, not always having to do with the price of the repair. Next question is, can total loss be repaired? Everything can be repaired if you're willing to put the work into it and buy the replacement parts. Many shops that offer to work on insurance jobs will not repair a total loss because they are known to be headaches. Typically, if you do want to have your total loss repaired, you'll want to have a shop that specializes in restoring total losses. They can, but most likely you don't want to repair your total loss, but they can. Can total loss be clean title? Yes. Double check with the total loss, the carrier that issued the total loss, to make sure they didn't accidentally brand your title or on purpose brand your title by process. But if the estimate of record is less than the ACV, it does not have to be a branded title. It can be a clean title. Does total loss mean salvage title? It can if the estimate is larger than the actual cash value. Does total loss affect credit? No. Does total loss mean? In Texas, it means that the insurance company does not want to fix your car. More than anything else, a total loss in Texas means the insurance company does not want to fix your car. That's what it means. It means they're going to pay you the ACV, the actual cash value, which they say is the market value. They're going to pay the actual cash value that's a total loss. Regardless of what the damages are on the vehicle, the insurance company doesn't want to fix it, so they're going to write it off. They're going to pay you for the value of the vehicle. That's a total loss. Can a total loss vehicle be insured? Yes, as long as they didn't brand the vehicle as a salvage title. If they did brand it as a salvage title, you will need to get a rebuilt title and have it inspected for safety, at which point then it is an insurable vehicle again. Some carriers will not allow you to have collision coverage. Some carriers will only let you have liability coverage on salvage and rebuilt titles. The reason for that is because they don't know if they fixed all the damage, right? So you might get rear-ended in your fantastic salvage title, rebuilt title vehicle. You get rear-ended, and the damages tend not to match the accident because the rebuilt title place just kind of made it look good. So, can a total loss vehicle be insured? Yes, but many carriers choose to only insure it on a liability basis. How total loss is calculated? Either it is in excess of the actual cash value of the vehicle as determined by the third-party valuation, or the insurance company elects not to fix the vehicle and they will do either a discretionary or a constructed total loss to make the numbers work. Those calculations are a lot more variable. The only solid calculation is an actual total loss, in which case, again, the estimate and supplements are greater than the actual cash value. Next question is how total loss works. How total loss works. So step one is you get into an accident and the damages are grievous. Step two is the insurance company decides they don't want to fix your car. Step three, they'll run an evaluation on your car and say, here's what we can pay for your car. After that evaluation, they will either brand the title as a salvage title because the estimate is greater than the ACV, or their policy says they have to. Or B, they will just let you know, hey, we're not going to fix this car. At which point they'll present you with the actual cash value presented to them by their third-party appraisers. At which case you can choose to accept the settlements or get another appraiser. The next question is, what total loss vehicle? Next question is, what total loss vehicle? That's different. It just means that the insurance company doesn't want to fix it, right? What total loss vehicle to me, it means the insurance company doesn't want to fix it. The next question is how to total loss a car. I'm just going to stay on the up and up and say that if you get into an accident where the damage is in excess of the actual cash value, I'm not about to how to negotiate total loss payout. Typically it's not a negotiation because that would imply that the insurance company is deciding how much your vehicle is worth, and they decidedly don't. That's why they get outside help to decide how much to pay you for your vehicle. So how to negotiate total loss payout. Condition ratings. Check over the condition ratings because those are a little bit softer. Those are typically more based on the adjuster discretion. So if they put any average, private, or rough condition ratings, you might give them a call and say, hey, I took really, really good care of this. Is there any way you can move this condition rating? Again, it's not really a negotiation, but the next thing is to check if they missed anything. If they missed some options that add value to your vehicle, it's really important to go over the evaluation report they had put together. So you want to make sure that all of the options are properly reported. You want to make sure that your trim level is properly reported, that there's no errors in the mileage. And again, the closest thing to a negotiable part of this operation is going to be in the condition ratings. It's not quite a negotiation, but the next step would be to get an appraiser because they'll be able to provide hard facts as to why the valuation is different than what the insurance company has provided. But typically an insurer will not listen to just a consumer because they have equally substantiated their opinion to your consumer opinion, if not greater, with their third-party appraiser. So if you want to get more for your total loss, and that negotiation of maybe condition rate, bumping up the condition ratings, if that's not enough, you may want to get an appraiser. How to buy total loss vehicle? You actually have to have a license to go to the auctions to buy insurance vehicles to make sure that you're not hooked up with an insurance adjuster who knows good deals. So if you want to buy the actual damaged vehicles, you're going to have to go to the auctions, right? And you need a license to go to those insurance auto auctions. Excuse me. The second way is there are car lots that advertise that they sell rebuilt title cars. Just Google rebuilt title dealership and they will be happy to lead you to them. Buyer beware, right? If there was ever a buyer beware, it's a rebuilt title car. But they're out there and you can get a good deal on them, especially if you check out the total loss. And if it was hail or something, something that's not really super serious and it's just a pain in the ass that the insurer didn't want to do, you can buy it. You can buy total loss vehicles. A lot of them don't even have salvage titles, but I guess, I don't know. If they went through insurance auto auctions, they probably do. What total loss means? It means that the insurance company did not want to go through the repair. What total loss vehicle? Again, any car that the insurance doesn't want to fix. How total loss is calculated? The appraiser amount. The insurance company's going to get a third-party appraiser. It's going to get that amount. If it costs more than that to fix the car, then it's a total loss. What total damage? What total damage? If your airbags went off, it's probably a total. If your rails are crunched up, it's probably a total. If you got in a front-end collision hard enough to crack your windshield, usually a total. What does total loss vehicle mean? Insurance company doesn't want to fix it. What does total loss mean? Insurance company doesn't want to fix it. When car total loss? When insurance company doesn't want to fix it. When is vehicle total loss? When an insurance company doesn't want to fix it. What happens after a total loss? So here's a good question. The question is, what happens after a total loss? The timeline usually starts quick. Insurance companies like to kick you out of the rental as soon as possible. So you should be shopping for a new car once you realize your vehicle is probably going to be a total loss. Even if the car could come back to life, if the damage is severe enough, you don't want to tell your shop advisor, hey, please fix my car. If your airbags have blown up, if your rails are crunched in, you'll want to get a jump start on this and start shopping around, because it says what happens after a total loss. The insurance adjuster, if you're in a rental, they're going to want to kick you out of that rental ASAP. They're going to pay you off ASAP, and they're going to want to close the claim ASAP. So what happens after a total loss? You move fast, or else you're on your ass after a total loss is what happens. Next question. Do you have to accept a total loss? Do you have to accept a total loss? This is difficult. The question is, do you have to accept a total loss? And if it's written in good faith, it doesn't matter. Do you have to accept a total loss? The question is, do you have to accept a total loss? So that decision, I'm going to ask, I know this is probably suffering for you guys watching on YouTube, but for the sake of the short, I'm going to ask it one more time. The question is, do you have to accept a total loss? And the answer is, the decision was made without you. When an insurance company says this is a total loss, that means they don't want to fix the car. So if you say, well, I don't accept that you don't want to fix the car, too bad. If they were going to repair the car, that means that they can give you every single penny that they were going to put into the repair, and it wasn't enough to do the repair, so they're going to declare it a total loss. An insurance company in Texas always owes the lesser of two things: the repair value or the actual cash value. And if the actual cash value is lower, it doesn't matter if you accept the total loss. A lot of customers don't, but that's what they're going to do. That's the decision. There's nothing to accept. They've made the decision without you. If you want to belabor the process, you can. But typically, the only reason to do so is because they've made a mistake in the payment amount. And even if they've made a mistake in the payment amount, it's such a pain in the ass to go undo a total loss that they're not going to undo the total loss. Next question. What is total loss? It's when the ACV is less than the estimate. Next question. What is considered a total loss? It's when the ACV is less than the estimate, plus the supplements. Next, what total loss means? I already answered this. How total loss works? I feel as though I've already answered this. What total loss vehicle? I have already answered this. How total loss is calculated? I've already answered this. Total dot loss. Outstanding. What total loss vehicle? I already answered this. What is total loss? A total loss is when the actual cash value as presented by the third-party appraiser is less than the estimate of record. Can a total loss be reversed? This is the same question basically as what happens, or do you have to accept a total loss? And I want to go back because a total loss can be reversed, because sometimes there's a mistake, right? Sometimes there's a legitimate mistake, and sometimes an adjuster will write up a whole thing about how the car is so repairable and we're going to make a good repair, we're going to make a great repair, and they still click total loss, right? So because of human error, there has to be a method in which a total loss can be reversed. So this is kind of important. Can a total loss be reversed? Yes. Only if the insurance carrier has made a mistake in the specific calculation that the actual cash value is less than the repair estimate. If a mistake has been made, you can say, hey, the actual cash value is less than the repair estimate. However, it has to be a true mistake, as in if you say, hey, it's less than the repair estimate, the adjuster can say, oh, it's still a constructive total loss because this, and this. It would have to be a genuine mistake, because you can't compel an insurance carrier to jump into the logistics of a repair. You can't, because again, they only owe the lesser of the actual cash value and the estimate of a repair. So in a genuine mistake, a clerical error, yes, a total loss can be reversed. But in the sense of an insurance company has decided they don't want to repair a vehicle, and you're like, well, you're going to repair this vehicle, it's not going to happen. Difference between cash loss and total loss. Cash loss and a so I'm not going to say that I'm stumped, because I'm going to interpret this question and answer it. Different between a cash loss and a total loss. I'm going to say that a cash loss is somebody talking about a retention settlement, in which case the insurance company did not want to engage with their repair. So they said, hey, here is all of the money that we could pay you for the repair, which is going to be the ACV minus the salvage value, which is what the vehicle is worth after the damage. And you get what I'm going to interpret this cash loss, which is the owner retention payment, which is when an insurance company doesn't want to fix your car, but you still want to keep it. I'm going to assume this is what they meant by cash loss, because that's not a real thing. I mean, it is a real thing. But I assume you didn't want me to talk about losing $20 on the street. So cash loss, you keep your car because you want to repair it, versus a total, I mean, it's still a total loss. They're both, I'm just going to say it, owner retention versus a vehicle retention, insurance auction is what I'm going to say the difference is. The difference is you get to keep your car and engage the repairs with every cent that the insurance company could have used, or you give up the car to them. What determines a total loss? The insurance company and whether or not they want to fix the car. What is considered a total loss? A car that an insurance company does not want to fix. What total loss means? what total loss vehicle, how total loss works, how total loss is calculated, does total loss affect credit? I already answered all of these. Why total loss car? Either one, because it's a straight value proposition. We can't total this car because the actual cash value is less than the estimate, so we can't fix this car. Black and white, we can't fix this car, so they total it. Or the adjuster knows it's going to be such a pain in the butt that he will not take any part in fixing the car, so it'll be either a constructive or a discretionary total loss. What happens after total loss has already been answered. Difference between cash loss and total loss has already been answered. What is the total loss? I already answered. Is total loss good or bad? Usually it's good, honestly, because if the repair would have been a good repair, your insurance adjuster would have done it, because a repair that saves money is what everybody wants. Nobody wants to go through the dealership process. However, a repair, bringing a car back from the brink, is probably going to result in you coming back to the shop complaining about a bunch of stuff. I always preferred a total when I was writing claims, and when I got in car crashes, I would prefer a total. My most recent crash is not a total, so I have to wait for my car to get fixed. I prefer a total loss. What determines a total loss? Insurance company doesn't want to fix it. Is total loss vehicle a salvage title? It depends on the insurance carrier's policies, but if the ACV, the actual cash value, was less than the estimate, it has to be branded, unless it's a hail claim. Is total loss good or bad? I think it's good. Is total loss protection the same as gap insurance? Is total loss protection the same as gap insurance? That's difficult to answer because some insurance companies offer replacement coverage for total losses, which I think is what a customer intuitively means by total loss protection. That is not the same as gap insurance. So total loss protection, protecting you from the liability of a total loss, is just your coverage. It's either the coverage that you're using, comprehensive or collision, which is protecting you from the financial exposure of the total loss, or they're talking about an advanced premium that you can take with some insurance carriers, wherein you get replacement costs instead of actual cash value, which means you can sometimes give them an invoice for what the replacement car costs, and they'll pay you that amount instead of their woo-woo calculation based on the value of the car that you lost. The replacement value is the car that you're getting to replace the vehicle, which is a total loss protection that some people offer, while gap insurance is designed to protect you financially if you owe a lot on a vehicle and it's and it becomes a total loss. Typically, gap insurance will not let you roll in negative equity, meaning that gap insurance will only cover the equity that you've put into this new vehicle that is the most recent. And gap insurance also notably will not cover you excessive wear and tear. So if you have gap insurance, you are not guaranteed to be covered. Look over that valuation. If the adjuster has written anything as rough in the condition ratings, you might want to give them a call and say, hey, is there any way that you can bump this up to average, private, or normal? Because your gap insurance will charge you for the difference if they mark anything as rough in Texas. Does total loss affect credit? No. Is total loss assist insurance worth it? I don't have it. Again, this is probably talking about the replacement cost and total loss protection. I don't have it, but I know some people would like that peace of mind. Peace of mind is worth a lot. It's stressful to have your car valued, and you have to worry about trying to fit another car into the value that they're giving you. Actual cash value doesn't cover much except for a guy selling his vehicle on the side of the road. So that replacement cost coverage can really take a load off your mind. It might save you a therapist, right? And the last question is, can total loss be repaired? If you own the vehicle outright, if you completely own it, you can tell your insurer that you would like to retain the vehicle once it's total lost, and you can do whatever in the world that you want with it. Just tell them that you want to retain the vehicle, but you will never force an insurer in Texas to repair your vehicle. Woo-wee, 24 minutes. I don't think I was stumped once. That was 58 questions. A couple of repeats, but I don't think I got stumped. Till next time, buddies.